welcome in, Stargazers! How are you all today? Hello, hello, hello! Welcome in, welcome in. Oh goodness. How are you guys? How are you guys? Hello, hello. Oh gosh. Hello, Simon Zero. Hello, Babylon. Hello, MG. Hello. wait. Wilson Fox, do you want me to change what I call you? Hello, Johnny. Hello, Arknight. Hello, Johnny Virgil. Hello, hello, Babylon. Again. Hello, Kalamex. Hello, Willow. Hello, Vesta. Oh gosh. Hello, Stockler. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Blood Sully. Hello, Uncreative. How are you guys? Oh my goodness, I am red? That is crazy to think about. That is crazy. Wow! Jeez. 12 years? That's like a whole year. Babylon and Sam Zero, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that is insane to think about. That is genuinely insane to think about. I don't really think I can mentally... Oh gosh. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, wow. Hello, Artemis. Hello, Lilith. Hello, Kisakai. Oh my gosh. That is insane. When your memberships, time does fly. I'd like to catch up. Can I borrow your wings? Oh my gosh. I just switched to Latin because later on a side story. Oh, okay. That makes Babylon! Oh my gosh. You guys! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the support. Seriously, what the heck? Thank you. I don't think I'm able to, like, put in my head what... I don't think I can, like, think in my head what, like, a whole year of... That's crazy to see. That is crazy to see. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the support, seriously. Stop thinking? Okay. Oh. I'm very grateful for you guys. Really, thank you. You literally started the other day? That can't be over 12 months ago. It really doesn't make sense. It really does not make sense. Something about making the 1 year Annie video and then seeing members who literally have 1 year membership doesn't feel the same. It doesn't compute the same way. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel the same. Everyone joining membership to get the first tips on the mail club. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm super grateful for you all, seriously. Thank you so much. It's been a year. It's been a year of you guys supporting and being members. I can't get over that. Thank you so much. Really. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not thinking straight. Someone said don't think. I'm not. I'm not thinking very, very well right now. I'm just very grateful for you guys. Oh my gosh. Difference between I've been doing this for a whole year and these people have been with me for a year. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, Catch, you've got me tearing now! What the heck? Oh. Oh my gosh, yeah. Was not expecting that! Was not expecting that today. You're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right. That is exactly it. Thank you for wording it better than I can. Curious to see fashion review without thoughts. So guys, Blaze is pretty. Oh dear. Oh goodness. Alright. Yeah, I can't disagree. There you go. Hang on, I'm trying to backtrack mentally. Yes, the cloth is made of cloth. Oh gosh. Alright. We're gonna start stream with a little bit of Gamba. Because the Kernel banner has, we're able to get, any new 6-star. There's still a lot of options, but there's quite a few that could be very fitting for the near future. So I figured that it would be worth, throwing a few rolls in there, at least till we can get to whatever the new 6-star might be. And then we'll jump in and do fashion review for the outfits that we have not reviewed yet. And I don't think I reviewed, I know Reed's outfit is in this one as well. I don't think we reviewed it. I think I just bought it sight unseen. Remember, Sui banner is close? No, I know. I'm only going for whatever the first, 6-star happens to be. We're not gonna go insane. Alright. I'm coining fox tears as an expression. It's the opposite of crocodile tears. Not fake sad, but rather real happy. Aww. I love not going insane. Cal? You don't have to wish for Cal. I had to secure her. We do have Cal on the what's the word I was using before? I forget the word I was using before. On standby. We have Cal on standby. Oh. Locked in, yeah, there you go. Locked in, on standby. I used the 2 vouchers. We have locked in and on standby for later when it makes more sense. We have Cal and Logos locked in. Standby for Act 2. Yes, exactly. So I don't know when it makes sense. I know it's not right now. So I'm just like, you know, story-wise, would probably be good to just not have to worry about that, you know? Alright. We have to switch this around, which I never know how to do correctly. Alright. We're gonna pause this, we're gonna jump here. There we go. Alright. And jump in here. Alright. Got Perfumer out a couple days ago, so back to having everyone. Nice. I was going to roll for her, but I figured, you know what, probably not a good idea. But I figured we could at least try a few tickets here. See what happens. The top of the screen is cut off. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, okay. Alrighty. One guy. It's okay. Alright. Let's do singles for now, see what happens. Alright. I really need to- wait, don't I have one? Hang on a sec, do I? I just swore I had a- nope, I guess I don't. Okay, that's fine. We'll just hide the stage for now, I suppose. Everyone gets to be a one guy sometimes. All good. Alright. Everyone's out of their mind today. It's the weather, guys. It's the weather. It's all good. Okay. tail mix melted off the edge. It is a-okay. It's funny. We're all having fun here. Okay. We'll try. We have a few singles. We'll see what happens. Singles we have to do fast, right, Vessa? Alright. And... okay, that's fine. A-okay. That's alright.
You're the
Hello,
boss
Bubble.
of this training camp? And they called you the doctor?
Okay, let's see here. I always be pulling Zumi? Alright. Try Zumi on singles here. And... okay. That's alright, it's alright. Trying our best. All good.
I'm Vanilla.
Hello, Vanilla. Welcome in.
Operator from Blacksteel.
Alright. Stop fighting Vessa, guys! I was wondering if that was gonna turn into anything.
The name's Rope.
Hello, Rope.
Nice to
Welcome
meet
in,
you.
welcome in.
Oh, here's your ID card.
Alright, stop with the, like, stop! Alright. Try it again here. No! No! That is not... okay. And... okay. Zipper broke.
My codename is Beagle.
Hello, Beagle. Welcome in.
My assessment, but I'll still.
Hello, Beagle. All right. One more on the ticket. Grab the bag properly. All right. It's hard to do it fast and not break the zipper. All right. Here we go. Well?
Hello.
Oh my god!
Officer Chen Fei London said that I'll be able to find some helpers here. I need to sign my name first. Right enough.
Oh my...
Tight. There. Eh?
Perfect!
Become an operator.
Absolutely
Full-time bed and
perfect!
board. What's going on here?
What are the chances of that happening? Oh my gosh! Insanely serendipitous going into Act 2. This is why you do the proper. Amazing, amazing. Welcome in, Backbite. Oh, that is incredible. We got the whole trio for chapter 9 now. That is amazing. That is perfect. That is absolutely phenomenal. The number of fights Vessa got is equal to the tickets he used. Oh, shush. No, I'm pretty sure this one was MG. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. Oh, okay. I'm very glad we did this. No, no fighting Vessa. Jeez. It was MG. What do you mean, MG? Vessa, shush, I'm trying to help you. Vessa, I'm trying to help you. Oh my gosh. It was all me. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I'm actually very shocked that Siam Zero was able to predict it. Because there were like 20 different options still. It was all me and Vessa. Oh gosh. Oh. Oh. Okay. Perfect. This phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's because Siam Zero knows that steel is heavier than feather. Perfect! Very perfect. Cannot get more fitting than this. Alright. That is amazing. I want to see if I can show the details. Or will it probably will does it disappear? Oh, it disappears now. Darn it! Well, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, I had the list showing like who we had, and there's still a huge amount left. So I was like, maybe there's a small chance that we get someone who will be fitting. Literally cannot see Bagpipe without thinking about that meme PJ made now. Fair, very fair. Alright, that is perfect. That also is one step closer to opening us up to using the tickets later. So that is super helpful. Alright. So whoever's in the shop first, if it's Aya or Surtur, then we can use the ticket and then we'll have cleared off that whole ticket. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Alright. Gosh. Extremely fitting. I love it. Alright. Big check-offs. Big check boxes. Done. Alright. Wait, not squat. One down. One down! Alright. Here we go. So I don't think we've reviewed any of these, and then we'll review Read, because I don't... Someone remind me if I reviewed Read on stream. I don't think I did, but let me know if I did. Oh, shoot. I also didn't realize that some of these were full live 2D. Real quick, HR, should I turn off any voices or anything, or are these not dynamic? These aren't dynamic, right? 21 is not dynamic. I don't think these have different voices. "24 is the one with voices. So we're fine, right? Alright. So we should be good then. Alright. First stop then, we have... Oh, there we go. There we go. Hello, Zangetsu! Thank you very much for the pinned message, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Gotta go mute the game, turn off voices? Okay. I wasn't sure if they were there or not, but I guess just in case. Why not? Alright, let's do that real fast. Just in case. Alright. First up, we have, Entelechia. Okay. Oh! Oh, this is really pretty. Okay. Interesting. Enchilada. Alrighty. Let's see here. This is really nice. It's like a fashion shoot. Okay, I like that a lot. This feels very much fitting with, like, Orchid, probably. Alright, let's see here. I like the little origami cranes. That's a cute touch. Okay. It's a really good layout. It's a really good composition. Everything is very well spaced. Wait, she usually has a scythe, right? Is the scythe now, lighting? If I remember correctly? Is this now like a light... a light studio setup? That's super clever. I love that. I like the, I really like the even composition here. It has sort of the circular form, but it's using a lot of different shape language, right? It's got like the flowing fabrics, the posters and boards that are creating a lot of solid shapes. we're using a lot of light against dark. That is really smart. It's very much a combination of rounded versus straight edge. So we have a lot of straight edge frames, straight edge blocks, sort of our display stands here. And then we have a lot of draping fabric. We have a lot of rounded shapes in the hats, in the busts here. And then of course the rounded edge of the scythe. It's all a lot of curved against straight, which creates a lot of really good balance for the eye. And then of course it's like perfectly represented here, where we have it as pure checkerboard, straight squares on a curved round surface. It's doing a really good job balancing everything. It's also really good at holding back color, because as you can see, most of these pieces are white fabric. You can see we have white fabric, white collars, white hats, white and black on the accessories, white and black on the platform. But then the color is anything related to Entelechia, anything related to, someone said these are not cranes, they are bats. That makes sense. And then we have that extremely bright blue that I mentioned before on some of our existing fashion segments. This intense, almost like royal, nearly like vibrant, almost neon blue seems to be a color that gets repeated a lot in a lot of these fashion areas. This very, very bright, intense blue. I'm surprised. I don't see it in a lot of media in general, but in a lot of the side fashion pieces, we see this exact same blue used a ton. This might be the most saturated we've seen it so far. I kind of agree. I keep blinking because it's very bright. It's very bright and intense. And then, of course, the inner lining of the jacket is gold because it's always paired with gold. I remember with Texas, it was the same way. Who else did we have this with? We had it with Texas, we had it with one of the Sui siblings, I can't remember at the moment, and I remember it had like a whole fashion segment in one of the ambient synesthesia pieces where the whole thing was blue, white, and gold. It's a very, very common color that seems to be used a lot here. The other thing that's interesting is because her eyes are red, right? Vampire, deep red eyes. We have blue and gold and red. She is the primary colors, literally. So we have all of the primary colors contrasted with pure black and white. I mean, not pure black and white, obviously we can see that there's shades and everything here, but we're using all of the complementary colors and black and white for our intense values and sort of, what's the word? Sort of like grounding the scene, adding foundation, right? If there was too much color here, it would be a little too busy. So the black and the white really help ground the foundation of the piece, give it a lot of neutrals, letting the eye rest. And then we have these very, very intense colors. But ever so subtly, we're still being represented by the whole, all the primaries. And then I'm actually kind of surprised that there's little bits of orange here too, because we have all the warm tones. And then the cool tones are basically the blue here and the shadow of that sort of gray purple. The only color that we don't have present is green, but we're sort of complementing the green with this light cyan that we can see a little bit in the shadows and in the highlights here. So this technically has every color of the rainbow in it, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. And that's really, really hard to achieve. It's quite an elegant piece. It's doing the entire rainbow, but giving so much black and white that it really cools everything down. It really, really subdues everything. And I think that that was a really smart choice. I thought Accord's blue leggings were bright, but this is just on another level. It really is. Ask is a magician with color. Very true, yeah. She's a vampire, so the little origami are another flying animal more associated with them. Yeah, I mentioned that I thought that they were cranes, but it makes sense if they're bats. That's fair. Alright. Let's see if we can spot any details on the outfit itself here. I love how there's just a splash of blue, even though this wasn't needed at all, but it helps separate her shoes from the foreground, from the platform here. That's so bold of Ask to do, right? Like, the shoes are pitch black, the ground is black and white. I'm gonna add a splash of that blue that we have on the jacket, that extremely bright blue that we should be really conservative with. I'm gonna put it on the shoes, just to make sure that we can separate everything here. That was a really smart choice, and it's a very bold choice. I don't think a lot of people would have done that. Alright. I like the little detail on the leggings. It adds a bit more texture. It separates the black and white in sort of a bouncing effect. I like that a lot. Because she has the jacket and a fairly simple top, adding a little bit of detail toward the leggings was a really good move. Look at the detail on that camera. Jeez. That is so nice. And then her belt is kind of fascinating to me. It looks like, it almost looks like it resembles a picture frame. I could be wrong, it could be something else that I don't know, but it does kind of feel like a picture frame to me. So again, sort of that fashion motif, framing the model and everything. And it's not just straight across, it has like a bunch of different asymmetric straps on it too. It's a very interesting design for a belt. Cross makes sense if she's a vampire. A little bit of brocade embroidery on the jacket makes it feel a lot higher end. This is so bright. Jeez. I love how much chromatic aberration they have on the furniture and the object edges. Yeah, absolutely. We can kind of see it everywhere here, right? It just adds that very subtle pop of color. This is actually a much more colorful piece than you would think at first glance. I really admire it for that. And she has a little friend. Oh my gosh, it's a little Honduran bat. That is precious. And the Honduran bat is so fitting too because, again, white and gold. And fitting the white and gold motif of her outfit. It's so tiny, I love it. Naturally, I bought the skin ASAP. Fair. It comes with a friend. It comes with a friend. It's lovely. Will you invite her in if she knocks on your door? Probably find another avenue. I like how the scythe looks like it was cobbled together with camera equipment. I actually think that's so brilliant. The fact that you're making the scythe into a light fixture, I think that that is really, really smart. She doesn't bite too often, pinky promise. Oh, great, so it's like a second Bessa. Alright. And then, of course, there's a lot of... This is, we're sort of repeating this flower pattern from the leggings into the collar. And then we're changing the color. Instead of being more subtle, like black on sheer black, we have black on gold. Black on gold on the jewelry here. It's a really great balance of things. Also, I'm sorry, I'm very biased toward the glitter. I love the glitter. Even if it's just dust particle from fashion, I very much like all the glitter happening here. The flowers are repeated a lot. I don't know if that's just for the fashion or if that's one of her motifs. but I am seeing it kind of everywhere on the outfit now that I'm looking a bit closer. And it's always even, it's always on every side. Yeah, the light fixture is amazing as a scythe. It's brilliant. My enchilada isn't even built. Stop making me want to buy her skin. That is the name of the game in these streams. HG really needs to give me some sort of affiliation. Affiliate status for promoting their fashion line so much. It would make a gorgeous cosplay. It's funny because it would make a gorgeous cosplay and it wouldn't be that hard either, because it is, at the end of the day, I mean, yes, there's a lot of jewelry happening. There would still be a lot of work happening with the brocade and the detail and everything. But it would not be the hardest cosplay in the world, except I'm not sure how you would do the lighting scythe. That is a whole other matter. Also, just pointing out real quick, primary colors being repeated here again. This is very, very nice. And then we're using the tag as a repeat, sort of balancing here, and it's also bouncing at the back of this board. So I think this is the only part in the background that's sharing that blue. And it works because the scythe is in the way, which kind of cuts it, makes it a lot more subtle. The scythe and the shine are reducing the blue, even though it is the same blue. And it doesn't feel super overwhelming or super heavy, because the scythe is still maintaining pretty much a black and white color scheme, which again is why this part of the floor doesn't feel overwhelming either. When you can't afford the whole ring light, so you got 90 degrees and just twirl it around. Very carefully. Lighting rigs are expensive. True. I feel like this would be very interesting to have in battle, considering how expensive they are. I do like the little shoe details here. And like someone else was saying, with the chromatic aberration everywhere, we also have stripes of color where they wouldn't really belong. I know that's kind of one of Ask's signatures. You know, as we can see with the blue, as we can see, this is supposed to be what's called a core shadow. So when you are painting something as simple as a block, if you're just starting out in art and you're shading a bunch of very basic forms, it's really common to have to learn to shade a sphere, a cone, a cube. And when you get to the corner edge between the light and the shadow, there's generally a higher level of saturation. It's also why you sometimes see a lot of saturation between the light and the shadow on skin. Let's see if we can see it here too. If we can see, like, right on her, right in between, it's really subtle here because there's so many other things taking precedent, but the light on her shoulder and the shadow on her arm, right in between, this is more saturated. Or actually, we can see it really well in the clothing here. Very light here, very cool here, and then there's that warm red. That is a core shadow, that is in between. It's also sometimes called a Terminator shadow. I think it's called Terminator, but no, making sure I'm not confusing it with ambient occlusion. But you see it a lot. It's become a much more popular technique now than it was only a few years ago. But what makes this so interesting to me is that this, like we can see with the arm here, should normally be a lot more subtle, and is even a lot more subtle here on the clothing. But then Ask decides to just take a bright gold, and just slash it across. So this shouldn't even be there. But what it does is it marries very well with the chains on the bag and the accessories and the charms and highlights on the shoes. So all of this chromatic aberration, all of these slashes of color, none of it makes sense in reality, it's entirely an artist's choice. But what it does is it kind of makes everything visually vibrate a little bit. And in that vibration, see, here's a really great example, right? We have a little bit of that floor reflection. We can tell that this is supposed to be a black and this is supposed to be a white, even though a lot of the reflection is making it much more subtle. And then where this shadow meets, we have a bright gold. These are very, very intentional choices that you would not be able to capture from a photograph, which is why Ask's work stands out so nicely. Because it's really subtle and you don't notice it from a distance. But when you're using it all over the place like they are, it adds a lot of visual interest to the piece. A lot of visual noise that you don't quite notice. And a lot of people say that when you are doing a piece, they say this with photography as well, right? Or no, what is it? I think it's with music or something. That if you can do something that sort of blends into the background and is not too loud to elevate the piece, if it basically is something that no one can really tell is there, then you're kind of doing it right. Like, if you don't have an artist who is breaking down knowing what another artist's techniques are, you know that the whole piece overall feels very balanced, but you're not really sure why, and it's because of those little subtle changes she's making. Does the rule of cool in a good way. There you go. Her little subtle changes on the jacket, on the cloth, on everything here. It really helps her stand out visually and against the background, even though these are grayscale pieces. The white box ain't much, but the gold highlight helps merge it into the rest of the piece. Exactly, yes. It's an allegory for how the same accessory costs 3 times as much with Epic Gaming RGB. Since her regular blade is like three-quarters circle. I mean, hey, I will admit I'm very weak to the Epic Gaming RGB. That probably doesn't come as a surprise. It looks almost like a slice of raw stone it was cut from. Yeah, it has a very crystalline look to it, doesn't it? But no, this is beautifully done. This is really quite elegant. Do we have a, whatchamacallit? Do we have an idol here? Oh, wait, okay, we have to zoom in on that. Do that, sorry, we need to see that one more time? Your idol is petting your bat friend? Hang on a sec. Hang on, let's see that one more time. Much more close up, please. Oh, that is precious. Ah! Okay. I love that. I love that. That is amazing. And then what do we have on this one? Okay. Oh! Alright, that's another one we're gonna have to see close up because the bat is clearly the star of the show here. Hang on a sec. I'm loving this little baby bat. Oh! Okay, I think that just sold it to anyone else who was on the fence. The bat is posing! The bat is posing! Oh no. Okay. So now the real test. Is the bat on the chibi? Considering both animations focus on the bat, is the bat on the chibi? Let's see. Are you there? I can't even tell. I don't think he is. The bat's not on the chibi. What's the point? Oh. I can't tell. I don't think I don't think the little bat's there. It doesn't make any sense. They should be. The piece itself is amazing, but why is the bat not part of the chibi? It needs to be. Come on. You're too small. You're too small. It's so cute though. Alright. Let's see here. Cambrian winter new arrivals. Dazzling blue. A brilliant sapphire blue velvet jacket paired with a form-fitting satin bodysuit keeps the wearer warm while showing off their confidence, turning them into the most dazzling star under the spotlight. It is quite lovely. Probably in base animations? That's what I'm thinking, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Possibly in base animations. That's the one update I really need, HG. Please let us look at the animations in the shop so that I can review them on stream. Thank you so much. I would appreciate that greatly. Should be illegal to have a cute critter in the art, but not the sprite. I know, right? I agree with you. I've seen it quite a few times, and it'll be like the test is if you're in the chibi. It is very nice, though. I do love the fashion aspect. It is quite elegant. I love the art's respect, the clear love of the craft is definitely there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for it because I do not have Enteletia, but it is quite a lovely skin, yes. Alright. Next up is... Blaze! Oh my goodness. Alright then, very different attitude, very different idea. Bat pops up in the tap in base animation. Put her in the dormitory to see. Thank you, Dark Turtle Knight, I appreciate it. That is good to know. Alright, Blaze. This is quite a look. Very, very different. Very different, feeling than the previous one. Let's see here. Alright. Let me do zoom out and then we'll do zoom in. Really interesting composition. Having this large character in the foreground, which is kind of giving us a sense of space that she is in the middle of a street. I mean, yes, we can see that she's in the middle of the street, and we can see the other people walking by, but adding this extra person gives it a lot more sense of scale, and it kind of makes the scene feel a lot busier. If this person was not present, if it was just the characters in the background, then it looks like she's posing in more of a photo shoot type of style. Because of this character in the foreground, it looks a lot more organic, it looks a lot more candid, it looks a lot more natural. Like, she quickly posed and someone snapped a photo. This person being here, ironically, adds a lot to the overall atmosphere of the piece. Let's see what else here. Yeah, the ink style's really good. I do love the texture everywhere. I'm not sure, I guess we're in Yan? You can only tell because of the lantern here. It almost looked like Texas for a second. Let's see. I'm just sort of getting my bearings real quick. There's a lot of texture being used in this piece. A lot of movement. It feels busy. I feel like I can hear the streets. It's quite rough. It's quite rough painting style. I'm looking at, like, how the streaks of light are moving. That's an interesting effect I would not have expected. The buildings have Yan characteristics, shapes of the roof. Oh, yes, yeah, you're right, you're right. Alright. I did notice the lanterns, but you're right about the roofs as well. So this is definitely like a busy street corner, maybe like a main street. I like the balance of the color everywhere. Kind of going from, a lot of different gradients. There's a lot of filtering on this. I can tell there's a lot of, like, Photoshop-esque filtering, because the colors that are being mixed in here is very much indicative to me of a gradient map. And it's interesting how we can just sort of add a lot of extra texture and make it feel like full buildings without having to bother doing all the crazy amounts of detail. Really good time-saving techniques here. I don't think any of these are 3D. They don't look 3D to me. This pole might be. This pole might be 3D. Especially these parts in the shadow. But I don't think the buildings are. Goes cold to warm as you get near her, how fitting. Well, that is true, but I do think that that also happens to be part of the shops as well, right? Whenever you look at any sort of city, in general, it is going to have, like, you know, darker building, darker sky, and then warm as you're around people. However, maybe these lights have something to do more with, like a heat effect. I'm not really sure. Alright. It does a good job framing her, though. But yeah, usually the bottom of a street is going to be brighter than the top. Let's see. I can't really say anything about the motorcycle, because that is not my area of expertise. Can't tell if this is 3D either. I like a lot of the texture on her pants, though. Really good use of light and darks in the folds. Lots of different details everywhere here. Lots of strands. Someone was mentioning before with the scarf. Tail jewelry? Oh yeah! Look at that! The tip of her tail looks like a fuse in this picture. And the sparkly star tail bracelet type of thing. Charming Falcon cosplay! You're not wrong! You're not wrong, that's amazing. Does she have a pineapple? Maybe. It could be. It could also just be, you know, nondescript vegetable. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the glove here. Is this like... Is this just like attached to the jacket in case she needs it? Also, why does she have, what are these called? These look like the, these look like caltrops. Neon green is interesting as highlights, not our typical colors. Still looking cool. Yeah, why does it look like she has caltrops as a decoration? This is so silly, but because of the color scheme, I can't help but not see this as a leak. Because of the white to green. I'm not even paying attention to the red, I'm just looking at the white to green, and then, like, the texture of the scarf, and the fact that she has groceries, and I'm just like, that looks like a leak. This looks like Hatsune Miku's inspired. I saw them and was like, what is she thinking about? Oh wait, she likes Naruto, she must be thinking of caltrops. I mean, to be fair, I was thinking of shuriken here. There's a bunch of 4-pointed stars as a repeating shape. The 3-point stars stand out in contrast. I see the 2 on her tail. I see the design on her leg here. Where else do we see it? On the belt, okay. I'm still interested about these gloves just sort of hanging off the shoulder. Is that typical of motorcycle wear? Like, somewhere to attach the gloves when you're not using them? Never know when you're gonna be in a chase and need to take out the enemy tires or feet. Fair enough. I have them on my ski gloves, so maybe? Possibly. I mean, I know that sometimes gloves have, like, little, clips to have hanging on things. I've just never seen it hanging on a shoulder. I would have expected it maybe hanging on a belt. Maybe hanging on, like, a backpack or something. I've just never seen it on a shoulder. It's slightly visually disturbing to me because I keep thinking that someone has their hand over her shoulder. You know, like, it kind of... It throws me off a little bit because it's so prominent, right? It's facing forward. It's facing right at us. And it's on her shoulder, and it's just at the height of someone, like, putting their arm over her shoulder. We can see her hand holding the bag here. We can see the gloves here, and then we can kind of see the other arm, and there's just something about it that throws me off a little bit. It's a little bit visually, it's a little bit of an optical illusion. I mean, obviously we know that there's no one there, but it kind of gives a weird feeling where it's just a little bit... It sort of stops you in your tracks a little. Which maybe that's intentional, I don't know. It could be very intentional to stop you in your tracks with something visual that doesn't quite make sense. It's used a lot. To me, it's like, I probably would not have made it fully forward. I probably would have had the glove at, like, more of a side angle or something. It just looks too fitting for some invisible person. If there was another glove, maybe that would help? Yeah, probably would. It probably would. Like, well, okay, actually I think there is. I think that this is the second glove here, but it's really hard to make out. I'm pretty sure that they are just tied to her outfit here, then. I don't know. Maybe because it's, like, black and white, so the colors are really bold and noticeable? I do like her design overall here. I love how the artist draws Blaze in general. I think Blaze has a very elegant design with all the crazy hair that I wish I could figure out someday. I love how her face is drawn. I've always thought that she was drawn extremely well. I'm just not sure about this outfit choice. That's just me, though. That's just me. Overall, it's definitely not a bad piece. It's not my personal aesthetic to have the more, we've seen a lot of motorcycle-themed outfits. They are not my personal taste, but I think that artistically it is very well done. The balance of the light and dark is well done so that you can see her against... There's so many different colors being used here, so it's very hard to balance, and I think that the artist did a good job. I'm just a little bit thrown off by that glove. That's just a personal thing with me. It's a bit weird to have two gloves up there, actually. Then what is going on with her left arm / hand? Are those also... Yeah, these are also gloves. Huh. It does, yeah, it kind of has that, a little bit of that suey feeling too, but you can tell here with the strap that it's just a long glove, and then there's only one, because it's not here, and then there's the two here. It is a little bit confusing to me. But if we ignore the glove part, I do think overall it is quite a nice composition. It's well laid out, everything is well drawn. Yeah, I don't know. That part I just kind of can't get my head out of. I can't get out of my head. The colors are nice, though. I like the little pops of red when zoomed out, tail tip, goggles, etc. Yeah, they play well, especially like also with the lantern tassels. It works nicely. It's a little bit of a neutral tones, and then green and red are sort of the main colors that we're working with. Alright. I'm curious how the chibi looks. I didn't even pay attention to the chibi. The chibi is pretty wild looking. The chibi definitely emphasizes those colors a lot more as a green focus, whereas in the regular piece it feels more like little tips of highlights. Especially like in the leggings, it's shaded with some lighter green. These pieces are made to be a lot bigger. Are the gloves on the chibi? A little hard for me to tell. It's definitely more of a green and black color scheme, whereas in this, in the PNG, it feels a lot warmer. Alright. Next we have... Oh, wait, need to read the thing here. Sorry. Alright. Cambrian Winter New Arrivals Homecoming Night. Made from multiple layers of multifunctional material. A light down coat to keep warm, a silver coating to ward off rain and wear. Perfect for both lounging at home and riding a steed of steel. Alright. Next up, we have... Mint! Alright. I don't think we reviewed this one. I feel like I've seen it, but I don't think we reviewed it. Alright, we've got a library layout here. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Kind of playing with perspective a little bit with the railing. And then a wax seal. Interesting placement. With their fidget toy. What is that, a Rubik's? The golden cube, treasure of the Rubik family. That's a hard Rubik's cube, or is it actually easy? It's all one color. It's very interesting. The way she's holding it makes me see it more as a sacred geometry type of thing than a Rubik's cube. This is I don't really understand why there's like a wax seal over a garden related thing. It's quite a lovely composition though. It has lovely flow. The railing here is sort of creating a really nice curve. And then this little piece here, I'm not really sure what type of branch that is. It's not dried mint, is it? Maybe? No, but mint leaves are much bigger, right? Would you use the mint stem for anything? Or do you just use the leaves? But the direction here, going downward, and then going toward the railing, which curves up and visually over against these cabinets, kind of lead us back to our main character here. So that's quite lovely. There's sort of a circular motion going around. If this had been curved downward, then we would lose it, and if this had been curved further, then we would probably lose it. But because it's just curved down here and then fades out, and then the rest of the platform fills in the gaps, and then there's a curve here because of where the cabinet is, it leads us right to our main subject matter. So, compositionally, this is really quite elegant. It's very subtly done, but it moves your eye around very well. I really do like that. You can see some newspapers here. Can't make out anything, but that's probably for the best. And then some bottles. terrarium-looking thing? Terrarium pieces in glass bottles, and a record player. This doesn't sound like a typical library, then. I like the extra detail they bother putting on the books. That's quite nice. Most people don't bother doing that. World's biggest pocket watch. And then this is fairly standard library. I guess it's more of like, maybe it's not a, it's definitely not a public type of library. It's probably more like a personal study, because otherwise why would it have all of these bottles and tinctures and terrarium type elements here? This is probably a much smaller room than we're led to believe at first. Looks like something Hypno would carry around. It is, yeah, probably. She's a fairly simple outfit. So the outfit is not meant to be the focus here. Clearly the focus is meant to be this cube. Also the fact it's glowing and floating in her hand, you know, if you weren't sure what to focus on, I'm not really sure what to tell you. I do like the way she's painted, though. It's very lovely. Very well done. There's a little bit of detail in her outfit, just to create some visual noise, visual interest. I like the little charms here, little tassels and strands on her belt. But overall, this is a very nondescript outfit. This part adds a lot of contrast. These extra sort of ribbon strands add a lot of nice interest. But overall, this is not a crazy outfit because of the plaid patterning. It definitely gives more of an academic feeling. Also, the jacket and more proper, it's kind of like a romantic academic feeling. The button vest and everything. This cube is very interesting to me. She's Genshin skirt tails. I mean, to be fair, skirt tails are great in design, but it's interesting that everything is so subdued, that the skirt tails are kind of the only thing that stand out as unusual, and everything else is very much your standard academic feeling. And then the golden cube here has a little bit gold, a little bit of warm brownish reds. And then everything around it is more of an aqua green, which are its exact opposite colors, because the opposite of yellow is purple. The opposite of red is green. So we're kind of working with those in-betweens on the color wheel, right? The purple is sort of coming across more so in the shadows. It's not directly a purple, it's just that warmth against that brighter green is creating a difference. And it's still in brown shades because you don't want to distract from the fact that it does need to feel a little bit old, arcane, academic, traditional type of feeling. And then, of course, the green and red carpet being a great contrast as well. If this was not a bright red carpet, I don't think the piece would feel nearly as balanced as it is. So I think that was a really good option. Bright red color carpet, bright green seal here, pulling together as opposite colors. Don't remember if the skin or the module came first, but the cube and the mod are related. I would imagine. It seems a little too odd to be fully random just for an outfit. It's a nice, elegant piece. I like it. I don't think I have too much to say on this one. It's overall just... It's playing a lot with academic tropes. There's definitely a lot of symbolism. There's definitely a lot of symbols in the... whatever this branch is. In the letters. In the terrarium aspect. But it very much is that magical academia. I feel like I'm repeating the word academia too much, but that is what it is, so... Alright. I do like how the skirt tails are quite prominent here. Alright, mint. Epoch collection, new arrivals, private study. Mint's formal wear at the Victorian Institution for Higher Studies. The green waistband showing off her lines and individuality. Alright, fair enough. Formal wear, huh? Alright. They're probably using the word formal wear in a different way, but Institution for Higher Studies, that would make sense, yes. So she's in a university. It's definitely academia. Academics. Alright. Graduating from Catatomy. It's sweet. It's gentle. It does what it needs to do. Alright. Next up is... Alright, I'm gonna mispronounce this badly. Ji-yoon? I'm not really sure. I apologize in advance. Alright. This is kind of funny because I had a big debate with Zenketsu at one point if I had reviewed this skin. And we went back and forth on this, and I'm like, no, I swear I have never seen or reviewed this before. So here we go. Now we are reviewing it. For the first time, yes. Alright. There is a duck. Alrighty. I thought you did, but my mind is full of fluff. I swear I didn't. I really think I would have been able to say more about this. Even MG says. I don't think I reviewed this, guys. I really don't. I feel like I would have remembered the duck, no? The only reason it feels like I reviewed it now is because, in the debate, obviously, I was shown this piece, but I'm, like, 99% sure I've not reviewed it yet. Are we on... Okay, is this a... This is a dock. We have a dock with lily pads. I'm trying to figure out what this part is, because part of this almost made me feel like it was a boat. But I don't think so, because there's no railing here, so it wouldn't make sense as a boat. It's definitely a dock. I'm not sure what's over here, though. I don't think I know what it would be culturally. It is a boat. Or it's a dock. Chinese fisherman's boat. Okay, so this would be an overhead area. Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I think this is an overhead area where you would keep supplies, but it feels really flat to be a boat. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. This is what made me think it was a boat, but there were other parts that were betraying my guesswork. So, let's see here. Okay, I can definitely tell that this umbrella is done in 3D, and honestly, completely understandable, because I wouldn't want to draw this either. This is definitely painted over 3D, but it's extremely understandable. Interesting detail, having sort of a spiked design on the umbrella panes. I can't tell if this is fabric or if these would be sharp. They look metal. I think they would be very sharp. This whole thing just looks like a giant saw blade. That's interesting. But yeah, I can definitely tell that it is 3D because there's definitely parts here where you can very, very subtly make out the polygons, and the way that this is shaded definitely exuded a bit of that 3D look. Murdery poppets! My gosh, cat. Those are sharp when folded down. It would be kind of a bladed club. But if it was folded down... No, I guess they're sideways, so... I feel like if it was folded down, it would be facing towards you, though, no? I mean, they're not... I don't know. I feel like it would be a little too close to the wearer. But okay, interesting. Also interesting, I like the nice gentle cloud motif. And then we have these ducks that are also wearing clothing? Why are you fully under the water in the clothing? We have ducks here, and the ducks have... Is that a gee? Might be a gee. And the ducks have horns. I'm not gonna ask why the ducks have horns, but the ducks have horns. Alright then. Can't tell what the food is either. But that's okay. But overall, it's a very, like, clean, pure type of outfit. And then, okay. Does the duck have shorts on too? I mean, it might be the... Yes? The duck does have shorts on, but... This definitely feels like some sort of gi of some form. Why does the duck have pants? I mean, the full gi has pants too. Why it's a different color, I don't know. And then, okay, so she's sort of just relaxing here. She has a tassel on what I assume is a sheathed sword, and she's just kind of playing nonchalantly with the tassel. She's got an interesting design here. Interesting sort of like dark halo looking effect. I can't comment too much on this outfit because I feel like this is a style I really have no familiarity with. It looks strangely modern in some ways, but also very classical in other ways. The form feels a little bit more classical, but the structure is definitely modern with these sleeves, zippers, everything like that. Why wouldn't the duck wear pants? Who leaves their house without wearing pants? I guess it depends on the duck themselves. I'm not sure why this one's fully underwater though, it just kind of looks like he's sleeping. Jiyun is super cute. One of the only ops with freckles. Really? Wait. Oh, I couldn't quite tell. Lemwin would be another one, right? She's almost wearing a star set outfit. Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know too much about the outfit itself. What I can say on the art side, though, is I do like how it is nicely balanced. her white outfit with the ducks sort of being the main focal pieces here. It works well for sort of a dark background, light foreground, and then sort of nicely, what's the word? Nicely balanced with the lotuses, right? If we had just had the ducks here and no lotus, this area would have felt a little bit empty, so a little bit of lotuses to bring that dark and light together in a nice way. Her hair being more of a red brunette is a really nice contrast against, again, the green. We're doing a subtle red-green color contrast because green is the opposite of red. So this is not a direct red, but it is still subtly in the red tone. It is a very desaturated red. So it's a desaturated red. It's the only red in this entire piece. And then it's nicely complemented by all of the green surrounding the piece, which, because they are opposites, lets us focus directly on her face quite well. The wood of the boat is a good neutral. It's sort of in between green and red, right? Because this is more of a yellow tone. So this is taking up about half, maybe a third of the whole piece. It's a great in-between that is making the piece feel more balanced. If we just went with green and red, it would probably feel a little bit heavy. So the yellow is giving us a really good visual counterweight. Also, the fact that it's so textured in an opposite direction to the lily pads. The lily pads are all kind of expanding radially. The umbrella's expanding radially, the water's expanding radially. So giving us these hatches and these planks is also really helping to differentiate everything. I think the other duck is floating, not underwater. Its horn is over the lily pad. The boat is more elevated, which is also how her leg is dangling without being in water. Hang on a sec. The boat's more elevated. Yes, I agree with that. The other duck is floating, not underwater. Oh, because of the horn? So it's just the shadow giving us that illusion, right? Okay, that would be fair. The straps are definitely underwater, because I can see the difference, Oh no, those are also in shadow. You could be right. Can we see what's making that? I guess we can't. Probably some sort of canopy that we can't see off screen. The shadow did make it feel underwater. But no, you could be right because of the tiny little horn peeking out. It's overall a nice piece. It's very elegant. I find the barbed umbrella to be an interesting idea. A duck is such a strange choice. I have no issue with it. The duck is adorable. But I'm surprised with the ducks. Alright. Let's see if the duck has any chibi here. I like the wet ink effect in the border. Yeah, that's really nice. Kind of that Sumi ink. Duck is her animal? I mean, I assume that most animals within these fashion pieces belong to the operator. I'm just surprised about the duck. I'm hoping that the duck is in a, is in the chibi, what's the word? In the base animation. And also we've got that interesting halo design, okay. Alright. Yoon series new arrivals, Away from Dust. Made by expert Yanese tailors, this stylish, narrow-sleeved robe is cool and comfortable. Ji-yoon wore it while visiting Yan's rivers and lakes. Alright, fair enough. A little proposition. Okay. She does have an oversized chakram as her weapon in her standard skin. That would explain a bladed umbrella. What is your little proposition? More GAMBA on standard thing that gives unknown 6-star. On standard? That isn't available yet. But also I'm kind of scared of standard. It seems very, risky. Although I guess that isn't gonna make any difference when we're in Sui anyway. But you're asking? I don't know. Another GAMBA? I mean, I can't because it's not even available right now, so... Don't let WZ trick you. Hey, I feel like I should count my blessings that I think for, like, one of the rare instances we actually grabbed our 6-star with tickets? I don't think that really ever happens. I feel like I need to count my blessings on that one. We did the Kernel, so I was like, might as well. But what if it prevents us from, like, off-rating Chonyu or something? You're right. I feel like my opinion on it is I'm not sure if it makes sense to roll on standard for me because there are still so many ops in standard that I do not have, and every new operator that comes out is going to also give us the option for any of those other ones in standard. Whereas Kernel, a lot of people say don't bother rolling on it, and it's not necessarily always worth it, and generally I try to buy them from when they're in the shop. So Kernel is like, I don't roll on it as often, and I can always shop op, and standard is, we're gonna be rolling Sui, there's gonna be standard results from that anyway. Bagpipe is a good gal. Clearly her arriving early blessed you for more awesome pulls. I've been reminded of my anxiety. Thanks, Star. Oh, it's all good. She treats her umbrella as a sword in the base, but there are no ducks with her. No, we need the ducks. Ducks are such a fun animal. You can get spooked by standard from limited. Yes, exactly. Kernel is forever in Kernel. Bingo. I feel like we got extremely lucky with Bagpipe, especially for our timing. I feel like we got extremely lucky. Because I asked HR, I was like, I feel like I should roll a little bit on this, because, you know, the chance of possibly getting someone who might be fitting is pretty good. And lo and behold, we got someone who is, from my understanding, pretty dang fitting, so... Shouldn't tempt fate before big pull session. Exactly. I agree there. Alrighty. So yeah, we're not gonna do standard, we're gonna wait for Sui. Sui is way too soon. And, oh man, if they do a contest type of thing, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fit that in. You got Bagpipe, I got Mizuki. Nice job to us both. Heck yeah, Mizuki! Wait and see if you get Praminixed again. Let's not tempt the fates like that. My headcanon is still that Silver Ash was just pushing his way through. Very aggressively. Very, like, very star of the show, like, very much in your face. And then lo and behold, we now have a plush of him. Alrighty. One more here. One more. Silverrush trap Pram to keep her from you. Oh my gosh. We needed the call of Yara to free her. Rolling on Kernel is always worth it when it's like this, even just as a means to fill out the roster. I think so, yeah. Last but definitely not least. Nope. And it's last only because I already have it, because I love this skin. The only reason I don't use it is because the animation itself is so much harder for me to see visually. But I love this so much. So much. I love this skin to death. I really wish that the animations were a lot clearer. That's the only reason I don't use it. But you know that I have this on the home screen all the time. I love everything about this. This is so gorgeous. I don't even know where I can begin in, like, evaluating it, because one, I don't know everything about her, so I can't tell if there's any references. But two, I adore this so much. Design-wise, compositionally, thematically. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. 10 out of 10. I'm almost tempted to be like, alright, no notes. Oh, but I love this so much. I think that a museum layout is such an elegant choice, right? Like, she is wearing a witchy outfit, but it's not directly a witchy theme, it's indirectly a witchy theme. Because witches are typically associated with crystals, very much associated with magic. We definitely have the magic with the dragon motifs, the fire, the skeleton coming to life. But putting the location in a museum really elevates the elegance of it. And I greatly respect that. It gives a sense of prestige, a sense of history, a sense of grace to the whole thing. And this is no offense to Newbie, because I know that he loves all the witchy outfits, I know that Witch Feast is his favorite line. It gives a completely different feeling than you get from Witch Feast. It gives much more of an academic, of a scholarly vibe, of a very careful and controlled environment, despite the fact that there's fire everywhere. But choosing a museum location, I feel, is a really smart choice. I've seen the base animations, I wish that we would pick up the marbles, but regardless, it's still quite a nice design. Overall, it's interesting that a lot of the subjects are on the ground. I would definitely probably pick those up, but having them on the ground, instead of on these pedestals, do help a lot with the composition and a lot with the visual variety. And again, this is interesting. Like the Entelechia skin, where I was talking about our straights over curves, these columns and these domes all sort of being interspersed next to each other is giving us a lot of visual variety that way too. We have sharp angles on this skeleton, sharp angles on the fire, sharp angles on the staff, and then we have curvatures of the architecture here, of her tail, lots of movement happening, of this giant dome on her belt, the sphere on her belt. We have variety in the picture frames. Again, some are rounded, some are square, some are rectangular. Gives us a lot of back and forth to look at. I think one thing I love about this piece so much is the lighting. The lighting is so nice because everything is very backlit. It's not lit from the front. It's not lit from a side mirror or anything. It's lit from this more outside area. And the backlighting creates this very strong rim light everywhere. Right? A bit of rim light on the columns. And especially on the ground. It's creating beautiful, beautiful reflections. I mean, if we just zoom in here, right? It's creating really beautiful reflections with these taxidermy butterflies, how their wings are kind of showing through on the floor. The marbles, of course, here too. Very autumn feeling. The backlighting and the shadows that result from it create... It has that same academia vibe that Mintskin did, but in a more elevated way. It's much more romantic feeling. It's a much more romanticized lighting. Because, you know, sunset lighting yeah, I would say this is probably sunset lighting. These strong differences are always going to create a lot more of a slower, more thoughtful, more mellow vibe. And I think that they really, really succeed here with it. There's there's that feeling of academia. Obviously, crystals are a pretty expensive thing to have in a museum. So again, a lot of prestige, a lot of study, a lot of respect for history, science, the scholarly arts. It gives a lot of really nice impressions. Would chat with horns poking through is an absolute peak design always. Very fair, yeah. It does go with the Victorian, on Earth, not Terra, version of mysticism, where it was very tied with academic circles. Very, very true, yes. I've actually been really looking into a lot of how those things tie in together. Because mysticism, academics, education, it was very much only reserved for the higher class, right? So it makes sense to have museums where everything is sort of reserved, preserved, left to more of a high society element as well. Reed is best dragon? Yes. I love Reed so much. I don't even know anything about her storyline. Obviously no spoilers. For anyone new here, I'm just throwing that out there. But she's quite beautiful, she's quite elegant. And I remember falling in love with her whole concept when someone was first explaining her concept art of how her horns make it like hard for her to sleep comfortably, and I was like, that is the most precious detail ever. I need this operator someday. So I'm quite grateful that we got her so early on, because thematically, I very much resonate with a lot of her general vibe, right? I'm very excited to learn about her story because conceptually I really like her. And it's annoying to want to appreciate her more and not know anything about her yet, but yeah, I really, really love Reed. Society is to blame, high society. Hello, Lillian. Actually, Lillian, I'm curious, seeing a dragon character who is fully immersed in this sort of museum quality. What's your opinion of it? I don't think I've asked you about any of the fashion segments before, but I think it's always interesting to sort of hear from from someone who's also very much versed in these more esoteric subjects. And if you're busy and don't want to answer, that's totally fine. Hello, Lillian. I hope you're having a good day. I think another part that makes this piece work is, again, the value differences. So those columns and her hat are giving the darkest darks in the piece. And then the brightest brights of the flames itself is creating really good movement and contrast. And the whole thing kind of just sort of always having a little bit of visual noise, visual texture is really good. Alright. See the idol here. There's something so elegant to me about this lighting. And the skeleton coming to life. There's something just so lovely about that lighting that I can't even put my finger on. Makes a lot of sense for a dragon to hoard museum pieces, considering how many collections were built by both patronage and looting. There you go. Sort of like dragon hoarding type of attitude. Alright. And then the animation here. I love how gentle the whole thing is. Just like the breeze blowing through or the lighting changing. I want to see the lighting changing again. There's something so magical to me about this fully backlit feeling, where everything, where the fire is just so much more intense, you know? The light is much more intense, the fire is more intense against everything being in a darker background. It's so lovely. Very windy day indoors. I mean, I think that this is at least an open window, or an open, open doorway. So I would imagine that this is probably coming in through the doorway? Even though it doesn't quite look like it. We also have these autumn leaves coming through, which is quite nice too. Dragon trying to launder their plundered gold by buying and selling art objects. Yeah, overall I love the piece. I love how sweet it is. I want to learn more about Reed. I'm excited to learn about her in the future. She is, you know, one of my top favorites. For sure, for sure. Alright. And I also love her chibi. The only thing that's preventing me from using this skin more is the fact that her attack animation on stages is much more of like a sort of subtle purple, whereas with her base skin, it's all, it's like the pure fire that you can very, very clearly see. It's very much a me problem, yes. Alright. Epoch Collection New Arrivals Curator. Scholars garbed straight from a fairy tale. Stuff your magic, knowledge, and curiosity in the pockets and take notes with Reed. Absolutely, would love to, yes. That would be really fun, going on a museum trip together. That would be cool. I like that a lot. She's indeed quite elegant, yes. Very, very biased towards this dragon. Alright. And with that being said, I think that we are about done here on the skins today. I think that we might call it early, if that's alright with you guys. And then we'll see how far we can get on Saturday, when we are going back to, Land of Angels. I'd probably line up to be her apprentice and regret the price she asks. Small stream, yeah, small stream, but small stream because I'm going to see how far I can get on Saturday. Strictly speaking, there are skin gacha ones, but still. We're not gonna go for any more of the gacha today, guys. I'm gonna see how far we can get on Saturday. I can't guarantee anything because, again, the weather is also a big contributor to how far I can go. So I will do my best. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. If you've not joined the Discord, as always, do consider joining the Discord. I'd love to have you in the community. Definitely make sure to subscribe on YouTube or follow on Twitch if you haven't. I do hope that you enjoy these fashion streams. They are sort of like a nice in-between that I like being able to do, so thank you very much for hanging out with me while we go through some of these. Myself, I'm getting tired, so thank you for the stream. Perfect timing then. Alright. Rest well, keep cool, whatever you need to do. Have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world or the many worlds beyond. And well, I will see you Saturday, where we go back to the land of angels and guns. And sweets. Alright. All the best, everyone. Thank you so much, Stargazers, and take care. Also, thank you so much to the ones who have been here for a whole year. My goodness, I can't believe that. Thank you so much for your support. Alright. I really appreciate and love you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day.